Hello, everyone. Welcome to our ROI micro webinar. Very excited that you're all here today. I am your host, Amy Keenan, founder of the ISV Society. I put these educational, informational webinars together with a variety of ISVs to hope inform, educate you as well. So welcome to our first ever ROI webinar. So very excited to kick this off with our ISVs today, which are Avalara, True Commerce, and Solver. We are recording this, so if you have to drop off or you want to share with your team afterwards, feel free to do that once I send it out, which will probably be Monday. If you do have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat and each of our presenters can answer them in there or live, but we just want to make sure that we get those answered. So make sure you add them to the chat so we have them. And just a little bit about what we're covering today. So Avalara is going to talk about how they can support growth without adding tax headcount. And then we have TrueCommerce talking about how they cut EDI costs by 50% for one of their customers. And then we'll wrap it up with Solver, who will talk about the 95% reduction in revenue processing time and on-demand drill down analysis that empowers finance teams to act with speed and confidence. So very excited to have you all here today with us. And so I am going to stop sharing my screen and hand the reins over to Connor at Avalara.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Amy.
You're
And
welcome.
appreciate everyone joining today. So excited to talk, albeit briefly, about Avalara and how we can help out while ensuring that you can stay compliant while minimizing the need to add any personnel in the forms of headcount or stretch bandwidth for your current team. So really the goal here today is to show how Avalara can support pretty exponential growth, specifically 5x growth without needing to increase your team side, i.e. eating into whatever certain HR personnel budget that you might have allotted for your team within your company. So let's hop into it a little bit. So I like to start this conversation with within a customer story of someone who Avalara has worked a lot with, and myself included. So Firewire is a surfboard company that is headquartered in California, and they, like a lot of businesses, experienced a lot of boom come 2020 with the pandemic and everyone being able to not be indoors. And so, well, everyone went outdoors, especially within California and some of the coastal states. And so Firewire experienced a lot of growth at a very quick click because previously they were very much a regional California-based customer client, and that's where their clientele focused within. So knowing that they were growing, but knowing that they didn't necessarily have the monetary and financial support to add additional headcount to support this compliance and the need for extra eyes on the compliance processes that they had, Franklin reached out to Firewire and we worked together. And you can see here on this slide, so within the Acumatica ecosystem, you purchased our standard suite of products. So our tax engine that integrates right into Acumatica, our returns platform that will file and remit those returns in the states that Firewire was expanding into. And then also our exemption certificate management system, which is also integrated right within Acumatica. And I call out these two different features because the nice part of using Avalara, and this is where really that ROI comes into play, is that you're housed all within Acumatica. We're bolted onto the back end of Acumatica through a pre-built integration. So there's no switching screens. We are all housed right within Acumatica. You're going to be able to invoice like normal, which again, for the team members that you do have supporting these processes, cuts down on any unnecessary logistical or clerical work that they need to do, updating two different systems of record. It is all housed within your instance of Acumatica, and we are serving as that sole source of truth. So using technology and using Avalara's technology to streamline processes to make sure that that ROI is staying high for you and your team. And so wrapping up the situation with Firewire and Franklin specifically, so they, through Avalara, they actually expanded into multiple different states. So they became registered and started collecting and remitting sales tax. And the nice part is, and so I've worked with Franklin for a long time. We actually did a co session at Acumatica Summit a few years ago. And the thing that he told me that really stuck with me was that he didn't expect the technology to have such a big ROI on his business processes because from his side, he thought tax is just something in the background, right? Something you don't really need to focus too much on compliance, tax. But he said that it was one of the most impactful things that he invested in to allow his team and his company to grow. So great kudos on that. And we have certainly a lot of different cases of that where using Avalara allowed for the team to grow, as in the company to grow without the team having to grow itself. So one of the biggest questions I get asked when I'm speaking with prospective clients of Avalara is how can we quantify this, right? If we were to use Avalara, what's a quantifiable ROI of partnering with your business? And so we actually worked on a multi-year project that I'll go in a little bit more in depth here. But this Forrester impact report was generated in 2024, and it went through, and we went through years and years of study with different Avalara clients of differing business sizes and makeups. And we were able to derive some hard numbers to quantify this is the actual amount of time that Avalara can save you and your business should you partner with us. So you can see some here. I'll call out just some of the high level numbers, but saving about 510 hours a year, avoiding having to manage tax, remit the tax, saved $150,000 on reaching out to third party experts for any tax related questions, and then gaining about 85% efficiency when it comes to audit preparation. And that's a big catalyst for why folks decide to partner with Avalara. Well, if you do partner with us, if you do get that unfortunate knock on your door for an audit, Avalara will be able to make sure that you are ready, good to go, so we can make it as painless as an audit can be. Some other findings from this Forrester study was that Avalara has a ROI in a payback period of about 6 months. So the total ROE is about 153% with being able to pay back the cost of Avalara's services and the cost of our ultimate package in a 6 month period. And if you quantified that amount out over a 3 year period, benefit to the company and the company savings is a little under 1 million, with being at $910,000 after using Avalara and moving away from more manual compliance processes, i.e., having humans do human work, leading to unfortunately human error. So the savings in and of itself is definitely something that we hang our hat on because you're able to put a quantifiable number to something that's a little bit more abstract, like ease of mind for having compliant processes, or ease of mind of not knowing that you're exposed during an audit, or ease of mind of knowing that when you are invoicing your customers, you have the right tax built into the invoice, and that's going to trickle down to the correct tax being remitted to the states that you're working within. So as I wrap up my portion of it, so we went through the ROI side of things in this micro webinar. Also, just want to talk about how Avalara works within the Acumatica ecosystem, because for me, I've been in the Acumatica ecosystem here at Avalara for 5 years now. And while we have always had a strong, robust partnership with Acumatica, I've seen it grow and mature even as the years have gone by because we are actually owned by the same parent company. So we are very much invested in each other's success. We think of each other as like sibling companies where we are hoping for the best for one another because we're intertwined not only on the our parent company, but also because Acumatica uses Avalara for their own business compliances. So because of that, they are very much invested in the robustness of Avalara's products because that is what they are using on the back end to invoice their clients. So some you can see here on this slide, so some of our clients that we have within the Acumatica ecosystem, this number is growing on a consistent basis. This is one of our exponentially growing ecosystems here at Avalara. But overall, just some integrations and some updates. So we are able to help out with latitude, longitude, so geolocation. We are integrated within our exemption certificate management system. So as I mentioned before, you're going to be able to view your customers' exemption certificates right within the account page of Acumatica, within the client profile page, to make sure that you've got that accurate, right, up-to-date certificate right on file, right within the customer profile page. So again, no flipping screens. And then we're always working on new initiatives. So we've got a few underway. Won't do any formal announcements now, but we are working in tandem with where the customer basis that Acumatica is focusing in on. We're also increasing our services. So much more to come on that front here shortly. And if you are interested in learning more, so I know I talked high level about that Forrester study. But if you want to dive deeper into it, you've got the QR code here. So I'll hang tight here for just a couple minutes if you want that QR code, because the nice part about the study is that every business is different, right? So to be able to have uniform, quantifiable numbers can be a challenging exercise. As you dive deeper into that Forrester study, you can actually go into the specifics of your company and see what those quantifiable numbers are. So, of course, the ROI for an enterprise company that is $500 million in revenue, located in all the states across the country, they're going to have a different ROI than a mom and pop company who's registered in 5 states and they have $1 million in annual revenue. The nice part is you can get that level of specificity within the Forrester study. You can find all those different breakdowns and see how your specific business and the makeup of your business, how that translates into actual quantifiable ROI by partnering with Avalara. So with all that to be said, I appreciate your time today. Again, utilizing Avalara, one of our big value drivers is to drive efficiency. And so through that, the ROI is built into all of our products. Our products are built to be utilized in an automated fashion, so you and your business can focus on other revenue generating priorities, and we'll take care of compliance on the back end. So hopefully that is able to keep headcount low and static, keep costs low, and just let Avalara do what it does best. So I appreciate your time today, everyone. Appreciate you letting Avalara present on this micro webinar. And Amy, I will kick it back over to you.